Just like the Great Salt Lake, I'm salty AF, baby.
If life is a circus, then this dancing bear is in the center ring. Hello!
I'm Hunter Harden.
And I'm Papa the Bear.
And welcome to the Real Housebears. I was driving carpool with my podcast, Mary.
I can't listen to my podcast and answer your FaceTime, Mary.
It's very dangerous to do that.
It is very dangerous to answer FaceTime when you're listening to our podcast.
I bet, I listen to our podcast, and I almost get in wrecks just from laughing about how hilarious we are.
Right.
Oh my God.
So stupid. Speaking of, I thought this was a stupid name for this episode. I love the I was driving carpool, but I really thought as much as happened in this episode, you call it I was driving carpool?
I thought it was irresponsible.
What is that move about? What is that move about?
It was irresponsible.
It was irresponsible of the Bravo editors to name it that.
It was very irresponsible.
Because it should have been something more like Italian etiquette or something, like something with Italian in it, or maybe just
botched
something
Italian.
Botched Italian,
Botched
or something
Italian.
like
That's
like
what it should have
something
been
like
called.
that.
We are cooking bolognese sauce with the pasta.
Let's call it botched. We're going to rename this episode Botched
This
Italian.
episode is botched Italian.
Well, really big news this week.
Oh yes, we got really good news, you guys. So, a certain housewife,
Another housewife we're talking about getting on the pod.
has agreed to be on the podcast with us, and she's excited. That's a hint. It's a girl. But yeah, hopefully it's going to be happening really soon. We both have very busy schedules.
I guess if Heather and Dre will let us borrow their sound equipment, it'll happen.
And we should send them a message to ask them, because we can't bring our janky microphone that we both use.
I like a man in a vulnerable position.
I mean, she could probably fit in the hot closet with us, to be honest with you.
She's
but
so tiny.
I am
But
not
that's going to be
inviting-
uncomfortable. I'll sweat on her, and because I'll be so nervous by her.
Yes. And even bigger news. My birthday.
What could be bigger than Jen's?
My birthday is on Friday.
Were you getting to that before I said the thing?
Yes.
Oh, no, I get Go back.
Best of luck to you. Be careful.
Even bigger news.
Yes? What could it be, Papa the Bear?
My birthday on Friday.
Yeah, I forgot it's your birthday. It's not like you've been
Yes,
reminding me every
Friday,
second of the day.
November 12th.
For the
to
last
be
3
exact.
weeks. Yes.
Friday, November 12th, just in case you didn't hear that.
It's my birthday. My birthday. It's my birthday. Happy birthday to me.
Well, first of all, let's say this episode will be coming out on Veterans Day. So thank you to any listeners or loved ones like my dad who has served in the military
yes.
for, doing your duty and defending our country, which, I never did. So I really have admiration for those who have. So first of all, that. Then my birthday.
Absolutely.
We will be in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
We're going to be both dancing at the saloon.
So come see us at the saloon in Minnesota.
Absolutely.
And buy me a birthday drink.
Buy me birthday presents.
Bring me presents, absolutely.
Yeah, he loves Maker's Mark.
I love Maker's Mark.
Starbucks cards.
Oh, Starbucks out the wazoo. One year when I was a teacher, I would announce... Well, I was a teacher for 21 years, but I would announce every day for a month this countdown to Mr. Chitwood's birthday. And every day during announcements, I would say, so I really love anything peanut butter flavored, Superman, Starbucks. At the time, there was no Apple Music, so it was iTunes gift cards and a few other random things. And that one year
with
between my
Starbucks
birthday
cards?
and Christmas, I got around $300, if I remember correctly,
In Starbucks cards.
Just Starbucks gift cards.
That was an awesome 3 months while we had it.
Oh, yeah, we burned through it.
At least $100 a
Burned
month.
through it. So, yeah. So those of you who like follow me on social media, you can send that stuff through Facebook.
Yeah, you could send it anytime you want. Just hit us up.
It's going to be designer, it's going to be fancy, and it's going to be something that you can totally resell on eBay if needs be.
My birthday's in March 18th. I'll take presents early.
You just announced your birthday like 2 episodes ago.
I think we just need to threaten our viewers. I think that's the best way we
No,
can get
you
things
threaten them
for
enough
to do.
already for reviews. I think they've been
If you
threatened
don't
enough.
buy Papa the Bear some Starbucks gift cards, I'm going to cut you.
Speaking of threaten, every single episode, when at the beginning of the episode, when they play the taglines, you remark every single time Mary's tagline.
I can't believe you said, because I wrote down, I can't listen to Mary's intro to the show anymore.
See?
Because every single time she says it like, she says,
If you come for me, I will send Jesus after you.
it's just the way she says
I'll
it.
send Jesus after you.
I'll send, like Jesus is a mob boss and he's gonna like cap your knees, crucify you, and like rub your blood all over your front door. Like that's what he does for Mary. Like it just blows my mind the way she says it, and she says it so matter of fact. I just can't handle it.
Every time I hear it, I giggle, and every time you hear it, you go, ugh.
Oh my God.
I can't. Like every single week. And even like we've watched this week's episode twice, and both times like every single time, it makes me laugh.
I don't know
love
how
it.
somebody can hear that and not go, oh my gosh. Like
I giggle. It makes me
What?
laugh so
It is just.
But listen, Mary did it.
No, you don't.
Cameron,
Don't you do
that
it.
Cameron guy was talking about Mary.
And he's passed
And
away
he
now.
is no longer with us.
If anybody doesn't look into this, like it might not be natural causes.
Don't act like you don't know.
Yeah.
Mary might have sent Jesus after him.
And by Jesus, her poison.
Oh, did I just say that?
I just can't. And now more stuff is coming out about Mary, and like the way that Meredith is so shook now that she's heard more things and seen more things from Mary, like it's given me a little bit of relief. Because somebody that is sane and is giving her a good chance at being a friend, and then start seeing the things that she's doing to other people, and she's like starting to connect all the dots, and she's not okay with it. And like Meredith is like mom right now. I need mom.
Right here if anyone needs me.
I need mom around because Mary is terrifying, especially this episode.
Don't talk about her.
That woman that looks like she just grabbed a bunch of clothes out of like some rich person's Goodwill bin that went over there that looks strung out, that is screaming at everybody like. Or
You know what?
it's scary.
In just about 4 minutes into the episode, we're getting into Mary trying on all of her accessories at once. So let's go ahead and get into this episode from the beginning. Again, a stupid name for a supersized 90-minute episode.
I was driving carpool. Listen, I was driving carpool, you guys.
I mean, I love anything that...
That's what Jen Shah's driver said too of that truck. They're like, he was like, I'm just driving carpool, guys.
I mean, I love that it gives Whitney kudos, that it references Whitney, who we love. Yeah. So I'm into that. I just couldn't believe
it was a
when I
big
saw the
scene,
name
but
of that.
anyways, botched Italian dinner.
Botched Italian. That's what
botched
we're calling
Italian.
it.
Okay.
So we're starting off with Jen playing basketball with Omar.
Yes.
He's so sweet.
He speaks so respectfully to her.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Jen's not that great at basketball, despite the fact that she played back in the day.
Well, and plus, look at the claws on her hands. Have you ever
True.
played basketball with fake nails on.
And plus, she is a foot tall. Imagine how far away that rim is for her.
Although, if me and you played basketball right now, I think we'd probably be the same caliber.
Yo, she beat me. She beat me.
Because I can't play
I
basketball.
can't remember the last time I've dribbled a basketball.
If you saw me dribble, you would think that I came from some foreign country and this is my first time seeing a basketball.
I could probably dribble in place. I could probably dribble in place. But I don't know if I could dribble and
walking
run.
and dribbling?
No.
People snatch that ball from me real quick because I'm like way out there and I'm like standing, like squatting around it, trying to get the ball to go to right rhythm.
We're so gay.
Oh my God. At least
I'm so glad I found you.
At least I know it's basketball.
Right.
Okay, that's pathetic.
No, the one sport that I could do though is competitive stripper polling. Is that a sport?
It actually is a sport. Did you not? Oh gosh, this happened on the news a while ago, and this woman was climbing like a 2-story stripper pole during a competition, and she was upside down, and she fell all the way down on her face. But like people pitched in money for her because there was a big thing how the bar or whatever that was hosting it was like, it's not our fault. There is no like stripper insurance, you know? And so people pitched in and paid for her teeth to get fixed and her bones to get fixed and all that stuff. But yeah, there is some serious stripper pole. If you've ever like catch one, like Google it. It is pretty amazing.
Well, I don't think then that Whitney and Justin should move their pole. I think they should keep practicing.
I love it when Justin gets on the pole.
He needs to quit saying getting on the pole because I record it every single time. Well, I haven't used the one yet from the men's dinner. Let's just use it now.
Actually, there's only certain occasions I jump up on that thing.
And then we have tonight with him and Whitney.
Yes.
I haven't been on the pole sober, and I'm like, well, let's get drunk, Justin, and get you on the
Come over and F me sometime.
Right? I'm glad that Whitney doesn't care that we're madly in love with her husband.
Hey, that's how we like them.
I know. Actually, one of my friends sent me a message and asked me if Whitney and Justin are bi or if they are swingers. And I was like, no, they're not. They love each other very much, and you can tell. And plus, Corey already outed me saying that I had a huge crush on Justin, and he hasn't contacted me since. So I don't think he is.
Maybe it was like that 1 in a million chance.
But, wishful thinking. Wishful thinking.
Wishful thinking.
Lisa is wishful thinking that she can play this virtual reality game.
I think it's called Ocular or something, but it's like where you slice the boxes in certain directions with lightsabers. But her equilibrium is going to be totally spent after that.
Oh, I feel sick.
Right? Her in those little tiny yoga pants with the zipper in front that she's wearing, she's so tiny. I want to see how tiny she is in person.
I know.
I've got to meet her in person. She looks just so tiny thing. And after seeing her on Watch What Happens Live, I see her differently. I thought she was adorable on Watch What Happens Live. I don't think that Andy loved her so much, but I was entertained by her.
Her laughing sounded kind of...
it's a nervous laughter for sure.
Because I have it on this podcast all the time. After I say something, I laugh after it. People are like, it was funny, right?
Yeah, it's nervous laughter for sure, but I found it cute.
Yeah, I like Lisa.
And I love watching her with her kids.
Yeah, her kid. I don't think Henry was very happy about him playing the game or her playing his game. He's like you're like losing points for me right now.
Oh yeah, I forgot that kind of stuff matters nowadays.
Yeah, it does.
Oh my goodness.
Lisa's sabotaging you.
Well, next, Mary is trying on as many accessories as she possibly can.
Mary is in the closet of concern.
The closet of concern.
I don't know where that came up. It's just what I wrote. Closet of concern.
Closet of... That's like a room at Hogwarts.
Yeah, it's like...
Well, I guess Mary's closet of concern would be like that room that they had to go in to find one of the Horcruxes that just had all kinds of crap
Could
everywhere.
you imagine trying to find Mary's Horcrux in there?
In the room of requirement.
In the closet of concern? Could you imagine finding that?
No.
It would be impossible.
No, it could be a mannequin head.
It could be many different hat or scarf or piece of jewelry,
yes.
like shoes, boxes, dust. I don't know. Mary herself.
We are so silly.
You show respect.
Well, she sits down to call Whitney, and she is really annoyed that Whitney didn't answer.
But hasn't Whitney called Mary on earlier episodes and she didn't answer?
Yes, I wrote that down too, just like an episode or two ago.
Yeah, and Whitney's like, she never answers when I call.
Okay. So she calls Meredith next, and Meredith's like, I can't get out of bed for this call. Meredith's like laying in bed. So Mary's hosting an Italian cooking class, which I would love to do. Hello, Dre.
Hey, Dre.
Yeah.
In Park City. The theme is Italian streetwear.
I don't know what that is.
Neither did other gay.
I mean, I had no clue what it was.
Well, I love that she has these middle of the day luncheons and she tells you how to dress.
I chose Italian streetwear because Italian streetwear is simple and chic. And most of the time with these group of girls, I have no clue what they're wearing.
It's not like I'm just giving you a theme. I'm actually sending you images showing
That you had to
your
follow.
Like, what?
That's why she
Who
was-
has ever done that before?
Mary's just insane.
She is unhinged.
She
And
is.
Like the hinges fully come off by the end of this episode. Mary then reads everyone's fashion.
I'm like the person that
kettle.
just I mean, she has no style sense at all. And she's like, oh, they just wear. I don't even know what she said.
I will
but
say
anyways.
some of the shots that they use, though, give her a little bit of validation, showing some of the like Jen Shah in her Janet Jackson outfit at Cherie's party.
Yeah,
last year.
well,
and
I
I think
liked
the
that.
first one was a Whitney.
Because that one was themed. That was a themed party.
Yeah, and I think the first one, the picture was maybe Whitney.
Whitney in those jeans with the up at Park City. I thought those were cute.
I don't. I don't have very good sight, so I couldn't really tell.
I think it was Mary or Whitney when she was going to have the gin episode with Lisa when they got together. That's what that episode was from.
Well, Mary invites Jen Shah, then Heather. She's not inviting Jenny.
Or Angie. I don't know.
I
why
want
they
some
said
more
mention
Angie. They are casting again for season 3, and we might be losing a cast member or two because both Mary and Jen Shah are having legal situations. So bring on Angie. She is not going to keep calling Whitney, though. She's done. She's done calling Whitney.
Yeah. When she said she called her 4 times.
The timeline between Mary and Whitney telling the story is very different throughout this episode.
It's so different.
Meredith's new home is huge. It's gorgeous. Mm-hmm. They have an incredible view. I don't know why they're so anxious to go build a new home with a view of nature's cleavage.
Oh my gosh.
And I also want in-home manicures and pedicures.
Right? One day, Bear.
One
I'll
day.
get them for you.
Thank you. Meredith invites Jenny to Vail, Colorado, with the rest of the girls. They're going out on a Tuesday through Thursday. I want a life where I just take off a Tuesday through Thursday. I guess these women own their own. I guess that's what happens when you own your own business. Yeah. Or maybe sometimes just being a true housewife will give you that allowance.
And I mean, they're
sometimes.
still working even though they're gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I don't know what she does, but I like it.
Meredith has not spoken to Jen Shah since tubing, and Jenny also hasn't spoken to Mary since tubing. And so Meredith tries to explain Mary to Jenny a little bit.
I mean, she just pretty much says she's a very guarded human being. She doesn't trust humans. Because it's true. She says she doesn't trust
she
human
does
beings.
not
Fact.
trust human beings.
Play that soundbite.
That's why I don't trust human beings. And that is facts. I don't trust human beings.
Well, they're hopeful that Jenny and Mary will be able to iron out their differences in Vail. We'll see.
We'll see.
Again, we
seriously.
know that this whole rest of the season is not just about Jen Shah. So
Yeah.
I'm anxious to see what's going to happen between Mary and Jen.
Oh, the Mary situation is going to be really intense, I feel, for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I do love Meredith's brown leather suit confessional.
I wrote that down. We are on the same
We
page.
seriously are.
I wrote new confessional look for Meredith, and she looks great.
Yeah, her face looks so great. It's not overly done because she's got really strong cheeks.
Yes.
And it's not so intense. Like when she had that bob that like cut in the sides of her face, it made her like cheeks look so sucked in. But now her face looks great. It doesn't look overdone. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, she is.
And her cleavage looks great. In that one outfit, I don't like her cleavage looks like it's plastic. It's
in
weird.
that one weird,
in that one weird
like,
one.
It's like snake skin leather.
Yeah, but it's a really low V.
It looks like she's wearing a breastplate.
Yeah, that's what I keep.
Like a drag queen. It's weird.
Yeah, it's so weird.
That's crazy.
Well, moving on, Heather and Ashley Gay are meeting Heather's niece Caroline and her husband Dean, who we also had the pleasure of meeting.
We've met these two.
We can vouch that Caroline and Dean are quite lovely people.
Yeah, they are. They're very nice.
Absolutely. We got to hang out with them and talk to them for a little bit. They were
easy to talk to. So
they knew who we were.
I know. That was so awesome.
So it was a real honor to meet them. I love that they're offered wine at this meal and everyone's like, this is weird.
Like, I don't know what to say.
Do I drink in front of them? Do we drink in front of Ashley? How does this work?
We're all ex-Mormons. We don't know what to do. We've all been drinking our wine in our closets at home quietly.
Right. And I was surprised to find out that this was like the first time Heather ordered a glass of wine in front of Ashley, even.
That doesn't surprise me. I mean, because the Mormonism, the whole, she's still recovering from Mormon's rules.
And it hasn't been that long since she left the church.
Yeah, honestly. And how many chances does she get to drink in front of her kids, you know?
Yeah, rarely, I'm sure. So they talk about how they are, now that they've all left the church, they are part of the outer darkness.
That's so crazy. The levels of banishment?
Yes, it's like Dante's
Inferno, Dante's Inferno, because there's 7 layers of hell.
Yeah, so the celestial layer at the top.
Yes.
Those are the tried and true Mormons.
We've been following the rules. We don't do anything.
Yeah.
We judge other people.
And then the terrestrial ones, who was shadily referenced Lisa Barlow.
Those are the ones that are still part of the Mormon community, but break a little rules.
Yeah, they're not valiant in their thing.
Yeah, they're not 100%.
I thought that was shady. I mean, Heather Gay will throw a dig at Lisa Barlow.
But it is true, though.
It's completely true. It's the perfect example.
Yeah,
it's true.
I mean, Heather Gay did put herself in the very outer banishment place.
Well, below the telestial layer, which are the serial killers,
murderers, rapists, and like.
But does that mean they still get into a layer of heaven?
A layer above the outer banishment ones, or whatever, outer darkness, whatever it is.
Those are the people who were once Mormons and now have left the church.
So, like, I would have to ask Jeffrey Dahmer to get me into his degree of heaven.
They followed the gospel. They learned everything about it, and still left. So they're banished. They can't even come to anywhere near the planets that they're living on.
Right. So I thought that was fascinating. A new part of Mormonism I didn't
know that.
Or the LDS Church I didn't know about. So they have a fun little conversation about the first time they drank alcohol. Caroline and Dean did not like the vodka.
Ooh, yeah, you guys shouldn't have done vodka for your first one.
Heather, if I remember correctly, Heather enjoys a Tito's and soda with lime. I think that is her beverage of choice.
Ooh, my beverage of choice is like Crown Royal apple with ginger ale.
And we all know mine is Maker's Mark with a Diet Coke.
Maker's Mark.
I am drunk on it.
They decided to leave the church because of the church's lack of support for social change. And I think that's probably the most common reason why people are leaving religion nowadays.
Especially young kids.
Yes.
Because they're just like, why is church so slow on getting on board with all these things?
Right.
I did like how they said church will come around at some point, but she feels like they need to go off and start the new revolution now.
Right.
But you know what? The lockdown is what sold them. You want to know why?
Why?
Because they weren't getting fed and brainwashed Mormonism every week.
You better.
They weren't pressured every week to be good Mormons. They were all on their own, and they really got to think for themselves instead of having to think what somebody's telling them.
I think there's a lot of validity in that. I hadn't really thought of that.
Me smarts.
You better read the Mormon Church.
Weird.
And then it was surprising to find out that Heather was kind of a mean Mormon.
Yeah, she was kind of snotty.
Listen, she's the sweetest, most generous person.
But that's what religion can do to people. It makes you feel
Judgy. Makes you judgy.
Superior than other people that aren't part of it.
You know, and I think that's a big thing. Heather and I actually had a conversation about this, about the difference between the Mormon church and a lot of other religions is, you know, most religions are about your relationship with God, and the Mormon church is just as much about your relationship with the church.
Yeah.
And that's where they get wrapped up so much, and so many former members of the church that we've met are so, I hate to use the word damaged, but for lack of a better term, damaged.
They have PTSD from religion.
Yes.
And that's how damaging it can be to people, especially when you're bred at such a young age and forced that onto your brain.
Yeah.
Where you're afraid to break the rules.
Yeah.
Like, I know that's good in some reasons.
And again, that's why...
afraid to just be human.
That's why religion is such a topic on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, because it really is a way of life. And, you know, Lisa Barlow was wrong on What Happens Live, because for a lot of them, it is more than just religion. It is heritage.
They're like these inbred polygamy cousins. It's like weird. It's so weird.
Oh, yeah. Especially when it's heritage.
Bloodline.
You don't want to ruin the pride in your family.
Yeah.
You don't want to be that person.
Right.
That's why I don't think Heather was a good time girl in college, because she would not risk that on her family. Because she would get kicked out of her family for that, probably.
Heather is just funny and outgoing, and that's a good time girl.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone who will go on a cruise with a little person that they don't even know, I assumed.
Yeah.
That's a good time for me.
Yeah, that's fun. That's an awesome story. That means she's adventurous and wants to try new things.
Yeah. So, well, enough about that.
I know.
I think we really exhausted that.
We love to talk.
Next, Jen and Stuart are going snowshoeing and breaking my heart.
We're making new memories together. My therapist told me to do this.
Watch this.
Make new memories and spend quality time.
Stuart!
Like, every time I see them together, it just makes me so...
And
especially
this scene where they're talking about how much they value each other in their lives. Like, that was hard to hear, because I don't think they're friends anymore.
I don't think they're even allowed to speak to... I think it's a court order that they're not allowed to communicate.
Oh, my gosh.
I feel like I've read that.
Probably all I know is that it's way too much.
I've
like,
also read that they are actually like throwing each other under the bus.
Yeah, I did hear that too.
But I don't know what's the actual fact about that.
Yeah.
I love that Jen's like, no one's going to believe that we went snowshoeing. And I'm like, honey, you're filming it.
I know you're filming it.
I mean, I guess it could be edited out.
It could get cut out. I mean, there's a lot of
scenes. But
scenes.
Stuart's like, we'll take a picture and then they'll believe it.
Right.
I thought that was really funny. And then another, like, tension building, like this whole episode, this is when the tension for me starts building to the end, because Jen starts talking about how she sacrificed time with her kids for all of her businesses. And, you know, she really doesn't talk about her businesses a whole lot normally in the show.
I don't know what she does.
So now when she does, it's really like, I know what's coming.
It's coming. And then just the foreshadowing with her talking with Stuart, and like her therapist wants her to spend more time with people she loves and cares about. And,
and they talk about their loyalty to each other.
I know.
It was heartbreaking to me. It was cute to watch them race back. I thought for sure someone was going to fall on their face.
I thought Stuart was going to fall, because he was booking it.
I thought they both were, to be honest.
They were. I just love it when Stuart starts getting close to Jen. Jen's like, Stuart, stop, Stuart.
They're so cute. So cute.
Should we take a quick break before we get on to Mary's Culinary Institute?
I guess we can.
All right, we're going to take a break and hear from one of our special ladies.
Bye.
Bye.
And I'll be right back. Let's go.
This is Heather Gay from The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and you're listening to the Real Housebears podcast.
Oh my God, thank you so much, Heather, for coming by. I'll see you later. Drive safe. Thank you so much for coming in. Love you.
Looking forward to see you on Watch What Happens Live.
Okay, love you too.
Oh yeah, she's on Watch What Happens Live tonight.
Yes. No, she's Sunday, I think. Sunday.
Oh, they're probably...
After the episode.
Yeah. Okay, well, bye. Thank you.
We can't post that video. Heather she wasn't happy with the way she looked.
Yeah, she's like, I'm just not feeling it today, guys. I'll just give you guys a little,
She's like, I just put my
break.
hair back to come over here and say hi.
Talking about putting her hair back, during this Italian dinner, Heather looks so good in that red wrap, and her hair is slicked back, but then free on the, it wasn't slicked all the way back.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what
Very
you're talking
Italian.
about.
She looked like Italian Vogue femme fatale.
Yeah, she needs some red. Looks good on her.
Red looked really good on her.
Red like that.
Yeah, and also her confessional look, the red confessional look.
Yeah,
her hair. I want to eat it. It looks so good. You know, it looks so good. I just want to eat it.
Well, eat it, girl.
Well, I'm not going to eat it because her hair's not going to taste good.
No.
Eat caviar, bitch.
But her hair looks amazing, and she looks so cute. And finally, we get a little opening in her chest. I mean, let's see that cleavage.
The décolletage.
The décolletage. Welcome to the Décolletage Hotel.
No, we're at the Park City Culinary Institute.
Oh, I read that wrong.
Mary shows up first because, of course, she's hosting the event and resets the table.
Right away, she doesn't know how to talk to people.
I just like things to be right. Especially if you know better, do better. Put the knife right. Don't act like you don't know.
No, she does not.
She's like, well, thank you for, making everything nice around here. And then she just goes right to the table and fixes it. And that flashback to when she was editing the table and they had one of the name cards upside down and she's like, do you guys know how to read? It's not not a big deal, but it's a huge big deal flaw. It's a big flaw.
Yeah, she does not know how to give
why don't you just say,
criticism.
oh, this name tag is upside down. Let me fix it real quick.
Right.
Let's make sure all of them are correct.
It's just called tact,
It's just called not being a
My
bitch.
manager did tell me that I was able to give criticism without making you feel like you want to kill yourself. That's what Mary needs a little bit more of.
I can't take any criticism at all, no matter what form or fashion.
Yeah, you can.
Automatically, I think you don't like me, or I'm not smart enough. Those kind of things.
Don't attack me. Period.
Oh, I'm sorry. You are smart enough. You're good enough, and doggone it, people like you.
Okay, I feel validated. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I feel better. Do you guys feel better?
Jen shows up on the back of Stuart driving a Vespa.
I think it's a Vespa, and you know what? Vespas are Italian.
I know. That's why I thought, wow, where'd they get a Vespa?
I know for probably for a fact, she went down the road to get on the Vespa and then put the flag on and then ride in.
And it's just a flag pinned to a cape. Is that really what it was? I think.
Yeah, that's all it was.
But you got Jen Shah.
Jen Shah knows how to bring it.
You better bring it. Meredith is wearing this sexy black leather outfit with the open back.
This is probably my favorite look of Meredith's.
Yeah,
at first I was like, oh, that's cute. But when she turned around in that open back, I was like, ooh, that is sexy.
Yeah.
Man, that is sexy.
You look hot.
But yeah, she looked very Italian Vogue.
Mary consistently tries to speak in Italian or with an Italian accent, and it's awful.
I'm a master of languages and dialect.
Yes, you are. Yes, that's true.
And just little nuances that are in different languages.
Right.
But when Mary does it, sounds so disrespectful.
It does. It's almost like she's making fun of her.
Yeah, it just sounds, I hate it. And she does it so much, and she's just like, Italiano,
the ultimate stereotype, an exaggerated stereotype.
Yeah, and it sounds so disrespectful. I can't handle it.
It's awful. It's just awful.
Mary, please. I will donate to your church if you stop speaking in Italian. Because she has been in Italiano, and she is Italiano, and her clothes are Italiano, and she is Italiano.
Whether she meant to just be charming or she's just plain dumb, it was awful. But what's really awful is then she tells Meredith and Jen Shah that she gave Whitney a different invitation. She's so mad that Whitney never answered her call.
Or called back. which we find out she did call back 2 hours later.
She says multiple times, never called me back, never answered my call. So she gave Whitney a different invitation that instead of having like high fashion Italian streetwear, it's like Italian street worker wear.
Yeah.
like hooker.
Like super costume of a hooker.
Yeah.
I could technically whip this costume together pretty quickly. I mean, I have it all at my house, but to a cooking class on a Saturday afternoon, this is a little too far for even me.
And like, did you see Meredith right away? It's just like, well, why is her not answering a phone mean you need to like be spiteful and vengeful against her? Like, what does this mean?
Legally Blonde and the pink bunny suit mean shit.
Yes, like, and Meredith is starting to see the cracks in Mary and being like, why is she so vengeful? Why is she so spiteful?
I mean, who would do something like that? Like, really pull like a legally an Elle Woods situation where she shows up in a costume to a formal event.
Like, that's humiliating.
I don't even
That's not
understand
funny.
that level of mean.
I don't either.
And
she's a preacher.
Yes.
I just can't.
But you know what? I really love what Whitney wore.
I did too. I thought it was very cute.
I really thought it was like a nod to that type of gangster type situation, but I thought it was beautiful.
I thought it was awesome. I thought it was very
I wonder what made her think to wear that instead of
what else
thinking that it was a costume party.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I guess because it was in the middle of the day.
Well, and also she got it at like 3 p.m. that day or something like that. She said like, or the day before this, she got the invite with that. So she didn't have any time to even get any outfits. It was just something she grabbed.
She looked great. She looked really great. And then that's when we get that great new confessional look for Heather Gay.
Oh, yes.
And then Heather picks up Whitney and they compare invitations. And that's when Whitney finds out she's been bamboozled.
Mary says that she needs to be punished for this. Maybe Mary is God.
He's not as strong as me.
Didn't God send like plagues and stuff for not being good Christians?
That's
or
some
good
Old
people?
Testament stuff.
That is some scary
since
Old
Jesus
Testament.
Came, that stuff doesn't happen anymore.
Oh, okay.
Supposedly Jesus was the sacrifice that stuff doesn't have to happen anymore.
Well, here's Mary. Here she comes to bring the plagues.
She's bringing the plagues. And she is offended when Whitney shows up not wearing a mafia costume.
Oh, yeah, she gets pissed off about it. Like,
you ruined my joke.
You ruined me making fun of you.
Yes. And when he's like, you're mad because I didn't show up looking like a fool?
Like, get humiliated by you, so you're mad at me? Like,
it's so weird.
It's just...
It's mean.
I've never seen a woman like this before.
Then Lisa shows up, and that's when Jen reminds us that feelings are hurt about not being invited to the Fresh Wolf event. But you know what, to be honest though, if I was talking to a friend every single day and I was good enough to come to this photo shoot, why wouldn't I be good enough to be invited to this event?
Yeah.
Especially over Whitney, who Lisa was just talking crap about.
Yeah, was just like seriously trying to turn her against Whitney.
So I'm on Team Shaw for this one.
Me too. I feel it's very calculated. She meant to invite just Whitney and just Meredith because she wanted both of them to hear from Cameron.
Yeah, I think that's 100% what it is.
And later on, Lisa says it was an olive branch to Whitney inviting her. And I'm just like, but you've been tearing her down this whole, like, before all this. You know, I don't know how she's trying to think that she's going to get away with all this.
She's going to still talk about Whitney while still trying to build a friendship with Whitney.
Yeah, but, like, people are going to see the show.
Right.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, Mary has aprons and chef hats for everyone with their Italian names, which Heather loses out on this one.
Erica.
Because even Whitney doesn't have a good Italian equivalent, so she gets Whitney.
What did Lisa get?
Lisa.
And what did Meredith get?
I believe probably Meredith.
Yeah, so what's the point?
Mary got like Maria or something like that.
So she wanted to show off, I guess. That's probably what she found out, that her name was Maria, and she's like, ooh, I should do an Italian dinner now.
But she brings them in Louis Vuitton bags.
Did you hear what she says when she brings that to them?
Like, I'm not going to bring them Louis Vuitton aprons?
No, when she's bringing it to them, not the confessional. She says, rise and shine, for the light has come.
Yes.
What?
Well, because that's a song. That's a church. That's a church
I know,
song,
but
I feel like it just kind of spilled out. Like, she went rise and shine, and there was just a half a beat. And
no, there's so much more to look into it. She thinks that she's gone.
All right, you and Whitney need to form CSI Salt Lake City.
Oh, I'm so down for that. We'll make T-shirts and everything. Little crop tops.
You'll be like the Bladers, but you'll be CSI SLC. CSI Sluts. SLUT.
I need it as much as you do.
So when they get these non-Louis Vuitton gifts, Lisa yells out, "Oh my gosh, I've never had one of these before."
Isn't that hysterical?
And Mary turns around and goes, "All right."
This is the first time I've had an apron in my life.
Okay.
And away from her, mocks her saying that. Did you see that?
No, I did not.
Like it was just a clip, and she goes, "All right," and just
Mary is
turns
bothered.
away.
She is bothered.
She just mocks anything anybody does. She just hates everybody.
She does. You know who's not bothered is Jenny, because she's not there.
Yeah,
and she's having a great time making yogurt with her fantastic kids.
I mean, 12-year-old Triton, which I love.
They've got Triton and Atlas.
Oh, those are so...
Poor Carly.
Well, Is
Carly some sort of mythical god or entity?
I don't think so.
Well,
I don't know.
We'll be strong boys.
But she asked Triton, do you want to help me make yogurt? And he says, yes, sure, I'd love to.
Oh, they're both. When Carly comes in, they're both like, what? You're making yogurt?
Mom, can we help you?
It's like science, though. Making yogurt is like science.
I've never made yogurt.
I didn't even know that you could make your own yogurt.
Me either, but that was...
I mean, doesn't it require some kind of cultures? I wonder where they got that.
Jenny's kids are so awesome.
Yeah, that was... so she's having her own cooking class. Thank you very much.
And also when she turns the water on for hot and she has it cold and Triton says that's the cold water, the way she thanks him, she says, thank you so much for that. You are so observant. Like they give their kids so much self-esteem.
They should have more kids.
I don't have the energy to do this anymore.
Be careful.
I'm just kidding.
Be very careful.
I'm just kidding. I felt bad though. Poor Triton. He got kicked to the curb once Carly got in there.
I know. He's like, "What? How am I going to help now?" She's like, "Here, open these bottles.
You can wipe these off.
Yeah.
You can wipe these off. Thank y'all." So the women are all lined up to start cooking, and Jen's next to Lisa, and she looks a little bit uncomfortable.
If I happen to squirt a tomato in her eye because I am a professional chef today, that's not my fault.
During Jen Shah's confessional, when she refers to herself in the third person, it's just gold.
Her confessionals are so good. She's so funny.
I want her to talk in third person all the time. But she ain't ready to mess with Jen Shah.
No, she ain't. They start to make their own pasta, and Lisa... Not only does she just not cook, she hates cooking.
I can think of a million things I'd rather be doing than cooking, like clipping my toenails, picking up dog poop, or like scrubbing the toilets.
Yeah, apparently she'd rather be doing anything else than this.
I mean, to be honest with you, sometimes I hate it that much, but as an overall...
But learning how to do something new like that, that's fun.
I would love a cooking class.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And I think I would enjoy cooking more if I knew how to experiment a little bit more, you know? And if I had someone to clean up after me, that's really what I want.
Yes.
I need to cook over at Jenny's and have her kids clean up for me. But even I could make this caprese salad.
I don't ever want a caprese salad because it looks disgusting.
Well,
because
we're not tomato eaters.
It's just tomatoes chopped in half.
Yeah, I was like, you just cut tomatoes, put some rosemary on it, and drizzle olive oil.
I don't like that.
Well, I can make it for some other people, though.
Oh, yeah, easily. But I don't want to eat it.
Heather asks Mary if she wants to bless it. You know, she is the pastor and all.
No, you do it.
But once again... you're not going to do it to my standards.
Of
And I'm
course
going to have to
not.
correct your prayer.
But Heather doesn't skip a beat. She's like, no, rejoin. I got to finish this out. I love Heather. She's always in for a good time. And she understands Mary, I think.
And she understands how to diffuse the situation and keep the level of pressure down.
And not to get insulted by Mary, because she's insane.
Oh, she is completely insane.
Oh, and you know what? I got to say something about this. And I'm surprised you haven't said anything about this yet. Mary's wig.
Yeah, my hair was bad. No, mine took all of us home.
Really? Oh my gosh, am I losing my touch?
It looked like she found it in a dog's mouth.
I'm so distracted by her nasty behavior that I've forgotten to pay attention to her nasty wig.
You know, like when Whitney and Bobby had their own show and stuff, and you know when you knew Whitney was strung out?
Right.
Mary looks so strung out in that wig that when she starts yelling at Whitney later on, like, Mary looks worse than her wig.
That's
like,
season 1 realness right there.
Yeah, this wig was intense.
You know what I think it might be, though? Her makeup is always on point. Mary's face has been really pretty
It has been pretty this season, but that wig, I'm so surprised you didn't notice that wig.
I'm surprised, too. All right.
It looked
I'm back on wig patrol.
Yeah, it looked like it was even coming off of her head a little bit.
All right, I'm back on wig patrol.
It was rough.
Okay, I'm into it.
Gloves are off then, Mary.
Whitney explains to Mary that she couldn't answer her call because she was driving carpool for her and some other kids. And Mary insists for the second time that Whitney never called her back.
Mm-hmm.
Then Jen Shah asks Lisa about the Fresh Wolf event. Here it comes.
The foster kids event.
And Mary's like, well, I don't ever get invited to anything.
But I'm used to that now, Lisa.
And Whitney's like, I'm sorry that I couldn't go, which I
was like, ooh, Whitney, that was good. That was good. Yeah. You just added fuel to the fire. And I think you did that.
And then Jen's like, don't worry, Mary, I wasn't invited either.
What did Jen do to Jack and Henry to keep her off the invite list? And what did Whitney do to get on?
Yeah, and now Jen knows from Whitney's mouth that she was invited.
Yes, after Lisa was just talking crap about her a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So Jen says that her feelings hurt, and he's like, but no, Jack and Henry made the list.
Oh, yeah, I told you, she fell right back onto that list. That's why she said it to Meredith at the Fresh Wolf party.
Just blame it on Jack and Henry.
They're the ones that did it.
But again, why would Jen be there for the photo shoot and not the actual event?
Yeah, that's why I'm concerned. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
And then, and Lisa says on Watch What Happens Live that she essentially says that Jen wasn't invited because she was afraid that Jen might make a scene.
That's why I think
especially since Meredith was there and their relationship is still a little contentious.
Yeah.
And I guess Jen and Whitney are good at this point in time.
Yeah.
Jen then tells Whitney that she found about Bleep.
Yeah, Bleep the designer.
Who supposedly got some free product from Whitney as a gift. And Whitney clears that stuff up.
And Lisa's like, oh, that's so good to know. And I'm just like, Lisa.
Shouldn't have been talking about stuff.
You should have been talking about stuff.
You didn't know the truth.
Because he said thanks, Whitney, on the podcast. So that's all I was saying.
Yeah.
I mean, on Instagram.
I feel like this group is not going to be happy until I choke on my pasta and die.
But Lisa just keeps shutting it down. It was all about the kids. And Jen was like, well, why can't you just apologize for leaving me out? And Lisa does right away.
Yeah, she does.
She does. She's like, Jen, I know that your feelings are hurt and I'm sorry.
And, this whole time, like, Meredith, the mom, is trying to diffuse everything. She's like, is this really that big of a deal to not get invited to a small party? Like, can we solve this? Because it doesn't need to be this big. Meredith, she wins the MVP award on this season, on this episode.
Okay.
I really fell for Meredith this episode because I could tell she's thinking about a lot of things in her head right now, but she's also being very smart about everything.
Ooh, I love that.
Like, she's not completely attacking anybody on the cast yet. She hasn't said anything to Mary yet. She's trying to gather more information. And I don't know. I just find that very refreshing to have somebody like that on the show.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Well, Mary thinks she's going to make everything better by kind of interrupting this moment with a toast.
Yeah, again, Lisa gets saved by a toast or a shot.
Right.
Remember when she was having a talk with Whitney at that dinner?
So the conversation moves to the Vale trip. Are Ginny and Mary going to get along? And Jen Shah tells Mary, I got your back. Boy, should she have never said that, it seems.
I know.
Because Mary just kind of brushes over it, and Whitney's like, hey, Mary, wait. Jen Shah just like tried to have a moment with you and was saying something nice. Did you miss that? And Mary loses it.
Her wig stands on end, and she just gets so furious.
You cannot tell Mary anything. You can't say anything to her other than praise and affirmation.
And it's so frustrating to argue with Mary because it's all nonsense and it's so spiteful, and she goes straight to name calling. You cannot have a rational conversation with her because she thinks she's better than you.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and then she screams at her, calls her little girl.
Little girl.
And then tries to say the little girl is a compliment.
And I'm like...
Oh, because you don't know Mary.
Yeah, you don't know me. You don't know how I said it. And, you're saying it to be mean to her. And you know that, Mary.
Yeah, she's just unhinged. And again, she's a pastor.
She is a...
So Mary then's like, Whitney, you can go.
Yeah, and Meredith is trying to be like, Mary, stop. Like, stop. Why are you acting like this? And Mary can't even see Meredith
She's
right
being
now.
horrible.
But poor Whitney, this whole scene, you could see her so frustrated and so like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like, why are you attacking me so hard? Because Whitney did go to her church.
Whitney's been her friend.
Whitney's been her friend. She even donated to the church.
So much stuff has come out about Mary in the press since season 1, and Whitney has had Mary's back and, supported her character.
And when Whitney, she's like, I love you, Meredith. I was like, ooh. Mary. I was like, ooh, maybe you should.
I don't
think you should say love.
Like that.
I don't think you should say love. And Mary's only response is, well, show that. Show that you love me. Again, her praise, she needs to be validated. She needs to be worshipped. It's a megalomaniac attitude.
Well, before she even goes out there and says that, Meredith tries to calm her down and help her fluff her aura.
Yeah.
And then we find out that Whitney called Mary back 2 hours later.
Yeah, and Mary didn't answer. So...
And then started rage texting.
And this is not the only person Mary has rage text.
Oh, we've seen them.
We've seen these texts
from
seen other housewives.
Yes.
And they are ranting.
She's a monster.
They are incoherent. They are mean, name-calling, and spiteful.
Here are a few examples of some of the things that Mary has texted me in the past. You think you're better than me? I can tell you, you're not. I'm better than you. If you have something to say, it's better you say it to my face. You deserve everything Jen did to you. I am thankful I'm older than you. I also know I look younger than you. I don't need all the fake injections in my face to make my face look like whatever. And I don't need tummy tucks and facelifts and eyebrow lifts and breast implants. Everything is fake. I've never had plastic surgery. Never. I don't need it like you do.
Yeah.
Like, she will say the meanest thing to you.
And in this one, she starts ripping off saying that Whitney's had all this plastic surgery and she needs it. But former church members have said when Mary went off to have that surgery or procedure to get rid of the cysts or whatever,
the sweat glands or whatever,
that she came back looking completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And she came back. It's funny I just read it today because it said she also came back with blonde hair, and Mary always tells her parishioners not to try to look like white people.
What?
Yes.
I can't.
I just read it today.
We need to get some spies in her church to record.
I want to go.
I am terrified.
She told her parishioners that it was a God glow up, and that's why she looked different.
Let's pray.
Well, Whitney is genuinely hurt by this. Meredith brings up her conversation with Cameron. Whitney is familiar with Cameron. But
she's never met him.
Right.
Yeah.
And she's had similar conversations with Mary's cousin.
Mm-hmm.
And Whitney tells Meredith that Mary's congregation believes that Mary has God in her or holds the power of God.
Yeah, the vengeance of God.
Oh.
And all he says is like, be careful and do not make Mary mad.
Yeah.
And you can see this right now.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
she goes to the jugular.
She is just, her face, she gets so, ooh, I can't handle Mary.
Absolutely.
And she gives me anxiety.
Yes. Well, Meredith tries to broker peace. Mary is mad at Meredith for a second, thinking that Meredith went off with Whitney and sided with Whitney. But
I'm like, what?
But she's only mad for a second. She gets over with Meredith really quickly.
Yeah, she's like, I swear I didn't know that's what you were doing.
To Meredith, which
and gives her a hug, and I'm like, what the? And like, was it Lisa that was like, how did Meredith become the Mary Whisperer?
Yes.
But seriously, how did that happen all of a sudden?
They've been friends since season 1, and I guess Meredith has yet say anything negative about Mary.
But now Meredith is
on
very
its way.
concerned.
Whitney asked Mary if Mary cares about her as a friend, and Mary says no.
No.
But you know what? I'm kind of glad because I can't wait to see Whitney with her gloves off.
Oh, 100%.
So she's going to bring all this stuff that she's been defending out.
Yep, all these texts. And all these friends, like the cousins and stuff.
I can't wait. So that was Mary's sponsored luncheons are very eventful.
Oh my gosh.
They're very eventful.
Very insulting.
Well, I just heard Jen Shah at the door. So let's take a quick break again.
Another break?
And then we have the Beauty Lab and Laser finish.
Okay. All right, Jen, you could come in now. All right, we'll be right back, you guys.
Sugar Daddy, talk to me.
Hi, this is Jen Shah from The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and you're listening to the Real Housebears podcast.
Thank you, Jen, for stopping by.
Girl. Thanks, girl.
Love you so much. Yes, brunch tomorrow morning, me and you.
Girl, we're going to be friends.
So we finish off the episode at Ground Zero, the Beauty Lab and Laser.
Oh my gosh.
We parked in that same exact spot.
Multiple times.
At
BLNL.
Oh.
There ain't nothing like a BLNL.
No, they ain't. Really, it isn't. It's the nicest people that work there.
I know. I actually love going in there. We haven't been in there in a while.
I know. It's time. Daddy needs a touch up.
We want to keep putting Botox in people's faces and filler in their lips and make them the best Zoom versions of themselves.
Heather is greeting Kevin, the driver, and they have a luggage car.
Yeah, I wrote that down. I'm like, they have a luggage car plus a VIP limo.
Yeah, so that's nice.
That's an old technique I learned in junior high.
I mean, you have to. I mean, each one of those women are coming with at least 3 bags.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For a 2-day trip.
I mean, I can't say anything.
No, we can't.
No.
No, we can't. Heather calls Mary, and turns out Mary's just going to fly private.
Oh, she's got a headache. And you know what? She's just going to fly private jet
Where does she get this money?
Listen, that's what everybody's wondering.
Or was she lying and never intending to show up?
She has to show up.
You never know. Well, I mean, she could say she was sick.
Blah.
I need oxygen, I need joxygen, I need estrogen.
Whitney shows up with the shot ski.
Oh, our names are on that shot ski.
Have we mentioned that before? I don't think we've ever mentioned that our name is on the shot ski.
I saw our names on the shot ski.
Did you see it?
How to zoom in.
Whitney's glad that Mary isn't there. Mm-hmm. Jenny shows up. How sweet that Heather brought like road trip kits for everyone.
That's so cute.
I wonder what was in it. Did it say?
I don't know.
I don't think it did. We need to find that out.
Yeah.
Jen arrives in braids.
Her braided hair.
Jen
and
Shah in
snacks.
braids. And wheat thins in particular. Lisa comes looking, wearing a great coat. Lisa's got a great coat game.
Yeah, she does.
She's got
she
a
really
great
does.
coat game. We see someone installing cameras in the van, and Jen gets a phone call.
Yes, I think it was Coach Shaw because she says, "Hey, baby."
It could be. I assume it would be, but she might be that familiar with. It could have been a child saying, "Mom, there's someone here looking for you. You need to come here."
Yeah, who knows?
Like Sharif Jr. or Omar.
But during this
could
part,
have been, well, it wasn't her assistant because he was there.
Yeah, well, like, you can see right away, she's like, wait, hold on, this is serious. And she has Whitney turn off her mic.
Yeah.
She steps outside, and she doesn't talk. She only listens. Did you notice that? During, like, when she got out of the car, she only listens. She doesn't say anything.
Wow.
But then as soon as she gets off the phone, and, Heather shows up and, like, comes out of BLNL, and even Heather was just like, whoa, babe, what's wrong? Because it looks like she just saw a ghost.
She just did.
The
she
blood,
saw her life pass in front of her eyes.
You could see her wheels are moving in her head, so she's just kind of floating through this part right here.
Yeah.
She's not really doing anything. She's just kind of on autopilot. And she just keeps repeating the same things. Like, I don't really know what's going on. And I think she said Sharif called her saying that Sharif Sr. was having surgery and has blood.
Sharif Sr. is her husband, Sharif.
Sharif Sr.
Yeah, that's him. That's her husband.
Oh, I thought it was like his dad.
No, Sharif Sr. is Sharif, and then Sharif Jr. is their son.
Oh, okay.
So her husband is supposedly in the hospital with internal bleeding.
Yeah, and
this was obviously a lie.
Obviously, yeah.
And, people in the social media are all, like, in an uproar, like, why would you say something like that? And, I agree, but... you're in a panic.
Yeah, I mean,
there are cameras everywhere. And that's,
that's not something you want to say, like, hey, listen, the cops are looking for me, so I got to go.
And that's kind of an excuse, like, that a kid makes up, that not thinking about the bad juju you're putting out into the world. And she was probably just scared.
Yeah, she was. She was very... She had to come up with that, like, right away, and it had to be important
again,
enough.
I wouldn't say that out loud, because I wouldn't put that juju in the ear, but, And I was like, Heather was like, our friend's in trouble. We'll cancel this trip.
I love how concerned Heather is and what a good friend. And all of them are like, yeah we should.
Like,
do you need us here?
Jenny's like, I really was looking forward to getting away from my husband, but I'll do whatever.
Yeah, but so like I loved how everybody kind of crowded together for her.
Yeah, I got this.
Yeah, I thought that was really lovely.
And then they had that conversation in the car of like, should we leave? Should we stay?
Yeah.
And I agree with Jenny. Like, listen, there's nothing they can do here. She told us to go. If worse comes to worse and she needs us, we can always come back.
Yeah.
Like, this is just a trip.
Right. For 2 days again.
For 2 days. So and even the producer comes in and is like, are you guys really thinking about not doing this?
Seemed a little irritated, didn't you think?
Oh, yeah. She was like, are you guys serious? Like, not gonna go?
After all this stuff that we have just scheduled and cleared and paid for.
Yeah, so it's,
But when he calls Justin, and he's going to try to, like, get a hold of the Shaws to, like, mediate.
to help him out, and if anything needs, so that can give the ladies more of a peace of mind.
Right. And then, 12 minutes after Jen Shah left, the feds start to show up.
And I mean, like, the ladies don't notice them for a while, and you just see them all going around the car, and they're just talking and talking. And I'm just, like, pulling my hair out. I'm like, look outside!
I think that at first Heather is a little concerned that she's in trouble. Like, why are they here at my business?
She was staring outside, like, why are the popo here? And that's why she got out, too.
Yeah,
because she thought it might have been for her.
Yes.
And you can tell that Heather's scared of police.
Well, she even says it.
Yeah, well, yeah, she does say that, but you can tell with her body. Like, at one point, she's like, y'all, you guys are like, you guys are, and she doesn't finish her sentence. She's like, y'all, you have a guns.
Right.
Like, she's seriously shook by this because it is scary to be around. It looked like a SWAT team.
But I would be with Whitney. I would be like, is this a joke?
I'd be like, this is a very elaborate joke.
Is this like a stripper... what's it called? Flash mob
or something. But like there's ladies there too, and like they're wearing like the legit gear. Like if they were stripper cops, they would just come in those janky uniforms and rip them off.
True.
But they have like vests on. They all have guns on them. And HSI, Homeland Security, like what kind of stripper name is that?
I'm Randy Starr.
What kind of stripper name is that?
So I know that it's not a joke right there.
Right there.
It's like, I'm Homeland Security. I'm like, what? That's a stupid stripper name.
Come on, Candy. We know that's not your name. That is so funny. That is so funny. Well, Lisa is in a mad panic.
You guys, I'm gonna puke.
Lisa's literally going to throw up.
Literally. She's going to call Stuart. We find out what happens live. She never got a hold of Stuart.
Which it makes me so sad because where was Stuart when this happened? I really hope he didn't get arrested at his home and his kids saw it.
Yeah.
I really hope that didn't happen.
I hope that's...
Because that's scary where they surround your house. They don't just go to the front door, they surround your house.
Yeah.
It's when they have a warrant, that's scary. And they will arrest you right in front of them. Because my little secret, but my dad got arrested right in front of me. When I was like 4 or 5, I think. I vividly remember it.
Of course.
Vividly. I answered the door. It was scary.
Oh.
It was scary. And I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, where's Dad going? Like, why are they... It was traumatizing. So I really hope that didn't happen to Stuart. That's the one thing I hope.
Yeah, his kids. All right. Well, then that's the end of the episode.
Oh, wait. But you know what's so funny is that they're like... We're looking for Jen Shah. We just want to make sure she's okay. Right. And I'm like...
They can't say
They can't say it. I'm like, you guys got a SWAT team and Homeland Security just to make sure Jen's okay? Like, couldn't you just text her?
Right.
So, like, it was very stressful. This scene was very intense, even though we've been waiting for this for so long. And they showed new stuff rather than what they showed in the first episode.
Yeah.
So, I cannot wait for this next episode.
I am more anxious about the next episode than I was this one.
Yeah.
Because Andy himself said top 5 best Housewives episode ever.
I'm stressed.
I am anxious already. I think about it all the time. I watched this week's episode for the 3rd time today just because I can't quit thinking about it. And plus, I don't know what else to watch. If I'm caught up on Housewives, I don't know what else to watch.
That's true. I mean, unless Below Deck is having a
marathon.
Yeah. But man, yeah. So that was a really... I feel like it was a really good episode. A lot of people were just waiting for the Jen Shah arrest, but everything else that happened in this episode was very intense.
I'm getting really tired of people saying this, to be honest with you. People are like, I'm tired. Well, nothing's happening. And I'm like, you guys, this whole show is not about Jen Shah's arrest. There's so much more going on.
I mean, Mary is going insane.
Serious. And Mary is one of the quirkiest people ever on television.
And she's a pastor. Like, if she wasn't a pastor, I'd be like, okay, she's just crazy. But she's, like, legit insane.
Yes.
And I'm scared of her.
You keep talking about her like this. She's sending Jesus after you.
Oh, no.
Well, she'll also send Jesus after you all if you don't follow us on the socials.
But she isn't going to... You threatened them. That's my job.
I said Mary's going to.
I know, but it was a threat.
Well, it didn't come from me. It came from Mary.
Oh, it was just a promise. Erica Jane. But Mary's not going to send Jesus after these 2 people who gave us some nice little reviews and a nice 5-star rating on our Apple podcast thingies.
We mentioned them on the Beverly Hills reunion, but just in case you're not a Beverly Hills listener.
Yeah, because I know I threatened you on the reason why you wrote is because I threatened you on the Salt Lake City episode.
Right.
So, Angela, capital M_82.
Angela.
The Real Housebears? I love that.
I love that.
That's what she wrote as the title.
I love that.
And then we got Johnny Mac 73012.
I have a relative named Johnny Mac.
Is it him?
I doubt that's my cousin Johnny Mac. I doubt he watches.
Does he go by Johnny Mac?
He does go by Johnny Mac. Isn't that a great name?
That is kind of cool.
I love it.
Johnny Mac. That sounds like a porn star name, a stripper name.
Well, no offense.
Well, anyways, he just writes.
He agrees with us. He agrees. He feels the way about the Housewives that we do.
And they both go on and on about how amazing Hunter is and how.
No, don't do that one again. You said that last week. That joke. No.
Well, thank y'all.
Follow us on the socials on Facebook and Instagram. We are The Real Housebears. On Twitter, we are Real Housebears. And you can email us, if people still email, at therealhousebears@gmail.com.
If people still email, I like lots of people email. They don't just instant message.
They don't do it all through the TikTok?
Bear, I can't. You can't say the TikTok. It's TikTok.
All right.
And also, I guess I don't have to threaten anybody now because I'm pretty satisfied with these last 2 reviews. But if you are listening to us on Apple Podcasts, please go to our main page, scroll down, hit the 5 stars, and give us a nice little review about how much you love moi and Bear too.
Don't forget my birthday.
And it's
on
also
Friday.
his birthday. So if we could get a lot of like happy birthday reviews, that would be perfect.
That would be a great gift. Thank you so much.
And we're also on YouTube.
Yes. So we are full Salt Lake, full time now. There's no competing city going on.
We're going to have 2 to 3 hour episodes now on.
It seems like it because we can't get enough of our Salt Lake
of
City
these
girls.
Ladies.
So until next week, bye.
Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Let's do a little sound check.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Let's do this podcast.
It's Salt Lake City time.
So it's test time.